The tension didn't explode overnight, but when it finally did, it caught everyone's attention. Because this time, it wasn't just fans arguing online. It was Rhyne Howard stepping into the conversation, and what she pushed back against says a lot about where things are heading in the WNBA right now. It all starts with the rise of Caitlin Clark, a player whose impact has been undeniable. Record-breaking college career, massive viewership spikes, sold-out arenas, and a spotlight the league hasn't seen in years. But with that kind of attention comes something else. Narratives. And not all of them are grounded in reality. At the same time, Angel Reese has built her own powerful brand, gritty, confident, unapologetic. She's a champion, a double machine, Madden, one of the most talked about players in the game. But instead of letting both stars shine on their own paths, parts of the internet decided to turn it into something else entirely. Fan fiction. Not the harmless kind, but the kind that twists real moments, exaggerates rivalries, and creates drama where none actually exists. Clips get taken out of context. Facial expressions become beef. Normal in-game contact becomes personal attacks. And suddenly, players are being cast into storylines they never agreed to. That's where things started to cross a line. Because while fans were busy creating these narratives, especially ones that painted Caitlin Clark as either a victim or a villain, depending on the angle of the players in the league who were watching it unfold in real time, and one of them wasn't having it. Rhyne Howard isn't known for unnecessary drama. She's known for her game calm, compose, an elite on both ends of the floor. But even she reached a point where the noise became impossible to ignore. Because what was happening wasn't just debate, it was distortion. And that distortion, it was starting to impact how players were being perceived. You'd see posts claiming that every interaction between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark had deeper meaning, that every foul was intentional, that every look was disrespect. None of it grounded in confirmed facts, just speculation dressed up, which is truth. And for players like Howard, that's a problem. Because the reality is much simpler and much more respectful than the online chaos suggests. These are competitors. They play hard. They want to win. Physical play is part of basketball. Emotions run high. But that doesn't automatically equal personal hatred or ongoing feuds. What frustrated Rhyne Howard and what she made clear through her reactions and tone was how quickly fans were willing to rewrite reality just to fit a more dramatic storyline, especially when those storylines often targeted specific players unfairly. And let's be honest, Angel Reese has been at the center of that more than most. There's been a noticeable pattern where Reese's competitive energy gets framed differently. The same intensity that gets praised in some players gets labeled as something else entirely when it comes to her. And when fanfiction enters the mix, those narratives get amplified. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, whether she wants it or not, up being used as the centerpiece in these debates, not because of anything she's directly said or done in most cases, but because of how fans project onto her. And that's where things get messy, because now it's no longer about basketball, it's about perception. It's about who fans decide to defend, who they decide to criticize, and how far they're willing to stretch reality to do it. For someone like Rhyne Howard, who's actually on the court competing against these players, that disconnect is impossible to ignore. What fans think is happening and what's actually happening are often two completely different things. And when those false narratives start spreading faster than the truth, it doesn't just stay online. It affects how players are treated, how games are discussed, and how the league itself is viewed. That's the bigger issue here. This isn't about silencing fans or stopping debate. Passion is part of sports. Rivalries are part of sports. But there's a difference between analyzing the game and inventing drama that doesn't exist. Because once that line gets crossed, it stops being fun and starts becoming harmful. What makes this situation even more interesting is that none of the players involved, neither Caitlin Clark nor Angel Reese, have confirmed the kind of ongoing personal feud that fans keep trying to push. They've competed, they've had intense moments, but that's basketball. Yet online, those moments get stretched into entire story arcs. And that's exactly what triggered the reaction from Rhyne Howard. Because at some point, enough is enough. Players want to be judged for their performance, not for fictional narratives created in comment sections. They want respect for their game, not assumptions about their intentions. And they definitely don't want their careers reduced to viral clips taken out of context. The irony in all of this: the WNBA is growing fast. More eyes, more fans, more attention than ever before. And that should be a good thing. But growth also brings responsibility from fans as much as from the league itself. Because how the conversation is shaped right now will influence how the league is perceived for years to come. And if that conversation is driven by toxic fanfiction instead of actual basketball, that's a problem players like Rhyne Howard aren't willing to ignore. At the end of the day, the truth is simple. There's no confirmed behind-the-scenes drama. No verified personal feud dominating the league. Just elite athletes competing at the highest level, with emotions, intensity, and passion, exactly what fans say they want. But instead of appreciating that, parts of the internet are trying to turn it into something else. And now, players are starting to push back. Not with long speeches, not with headlines, but with clear frustration and a message that doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Watch the game, respect the players, and stop turning real careers into fictional storylines.